Good morning, everyone. You may not be watching this in the morning. It's about 7 a.m. here. It's been a while. I hope everyone had a good holiday and a good new year, and that things have been treating them pretty well overall. So we're here for another video, and I say we, which you can't see him yet. I'm a good friend, Austin, coming over, who just picked up an 18 GT PP1 401A, nice, fully loaded. Last weekend or 2 weekends ago, we installed some IBAC Proline rear springs. We just haven't put the front springs on yet. He doesn't daily the car, so it was fine for it to sit around, so we're gonna put the fronts on. And we also have some stuff for my car today. So during the holidays and stuff, picked up a few things. So I've got the Steeda rear subframe braces, part of the Stop the Hop kit. If you don't remember, I already have pretty much every other part to that kit installed, so this would be the last piece to eliminate the wheel hop. I found someone local selling a couple things here. So this is actually a CB006 from BMR, and it's for the front chassis, actually, to stiffen it up. Got this for a really good deal, along with some Steeda jacking rails, the low profile ones, which I actually already installed, as well as the black Ford Performance strut brace for under the hood, just to kind of finish off my under the hood look, which I can actually pop the hood here in a second because I did make some changes there. So I'm really curious to see how this will do. Again, I do daily drive the car, so I was hoping that as far as daily driving, it doesn't really increase or decrease comfort, but increases maybe how hard I can take turns. So that's what's going on. Honestly, I don't even remember the last video I showed you, so maybe I'll try to go around and do some changes on the car here. So let me unlock it and pop the hood. All right, so I know it's been a while. Headlights are one of the things. So I have the Dialed Dynamics LED DRLs with the sequential turn signals and the demon eyes. So when it unlocks, that there. And then I had all the chrome blacked out as well. So all the chrome around the projector and even the orange reflectors all blacked out for a nice sleek look. And spoiler, diode, I don't know when you're watching this, Diode Dynamics, for us 18 up guys, sounds like they have a new housing coming out to replace the turn signal in the fog, which I cannot wait for because I hate that orange being up there. It just throws off the whole front end of the car, in my opinion. So I'm hoping some sort of sequential something that they'll provide, and maybe like a clear, smoked, and blackout, kind of like they do for a lot of their items. So if we pop the hood here, so if you don't remember, and I can put a card up, when I installed the Steeda shocks and struts, the Pro Active, I got rear-ended when I was test driving them. So when I got rear-ended and it all got fixed up, my body shop was cool enough. They painted the radiator cover for me, Velocity Blue, and then I had a spare engine cover that they painted, and then I went ahead and got from, look here, the black writing, that's vinyl decals from Anchor Room, and then I painted the middle part black. So some things I've added to kind of top off the engine bay for now. We got the California Pony radiator cover. I bought that used, but I know normally that sells on CJ Pony Parts. I had a local buddy who had bought this, I think it's the JLT master cylinder cover. He bought this, was going to use it, ended up putting a VMP supercharger on his 15 to 17, and it didn't fit. So I picked that up brand new for pretty cheap. And then the guy who I got the radiator cover from, he had the strut tower covers. So not a huge fan of the 5.0 on it, but it was cheap to go ahead and add them in. So I put those on there since they don't make them anymore. And then again, the person I got the jacking rails, the CBR 006 right there, and I got the Ford Performance black strut tower cover. The only reason I did that was just the silver kind of popped too much. So I think as far as the engine goes, it's all set for now until so I start doing more power adders, but that's a couple years down the road when the warranty is gone. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that goes. And then, you know, I already had a while ago the struts. So those are the, I think I might have them in backwards, but these are the red lines. I'm really happy with those. I had the MMD version that were no drill before those, but for some reason when I would close my hood, it would cause this end right here to kind of pop up above, and it just drove me nuts. So I gave them to one of my buddies who didn't care for free and just bought those. So yeah, that's where the car's sitting right now. Also for, again, daily driving, I live in St. Louis, so we do get winter weather and all this stuff. I did put an all season or winter setup together. So definitely a huge shout out to my buddy Chris. I believe his Instagram now is Race Car or Ray's Car. I'll put his Instagram on here so you guys can follow him. He's got a pretty kick-ass 2019 PP1 Mustang GT, but it has a Whipple Stage 3, so that thing is a beast. And I think you've seen it, you may have seen it on this channel before, because we installed some Corso Extreme onto there. If not, that might be a video to come to compare it to my Borla Attack. Again, in the future, lots of ideas, not much video going on. But I wanted to give him a shout out because he lives up in Chicago area and I am in St. Louis, and I found the deal on not only the tires, but the wheels themselves, and he picked them up for me. And I just drove up there with my wife to pick them up, and actually I had some tires and a pressure washer I was giving to him. So let's start with the tires. So these are Continental Pro Contact 265, 35, 20. I got 4 of these. They have probably like 60 to 70% tread left on them, which isn't bad. I got all 4 for $300. I mean, these normally run about $315 or so a tire. So getting us set together, 265, 35, 20 squared is pretty sweet, which again, if most of you probably know, that is also the stock size for the premium wheels, the 20-inch premium wheels that come on the Mustangs. So I also, in Chicago, found a guy selling Foundry wheels. So these are 20-inch wheels. Now I picked these up for $250 for all 4, and some of you may be like, wow, how'd you get it that cheap? Well, you can see here, some of them are pretty curved up. They're super dirty, they just need to be cleaned. I think this one, there were 2 good wheels, so this is one of the good wheels, and this is one of the good wheels. But you can see this one's pretty curved up as well. Hopefully that's showing up well, and there's some of the paint cracking off right here. But what's happening today, which is not your today, because that'll be a while probably before I post this video, these curb are all going to be fixed. I believe one of them has a very slight bend in them, nothing bad. That's going to get fixed, and then they're getting powder coated gloss black. So all in all, between tires, powder coating, and the wheels, I'd say maybe, oh, and TPMS sensors. I threw a box in each one of these. Maybe in for about $1,000. I mean, I don't think that's too bad. You know, really found deals on everything. So, again, these are the OEM 15 to 17 Foundry wheels. I actually really like this look. It's a little less of a sporty look if I was going for it. And I did go ahead and just for a stance standpoint, since these are 265s, I threw spacers on. Doesn't do any good. Some people don't like spacers. It's just for pure look, because I'm used to running the 285 up front and the 305 in the rear with my RTR Tech 5s on the Firehawks, which I absolutely love these wheels and the tires themselves. The tires are really great. I actually did a photo shoot a couple weeks ago, and it's still like 30 degrees out, but I put these on for the photo shoot, and they handled the cold weather. It wasn't sunny out, so there wasn't even any extra warmth from the sun. They handled the cold weather great. I mean, never broke loose. I did a little bit of spirited driving Went full throttle a couple times, and they were great. So I highly recommend those Firehawks if you're between the Firehawks and the Nitto NT555, like a lot of people are. So I know, long introduction, but just kind of wanted to catch everyone up on where things sit and the plan today. So we'll introduce Austin in his car when he gets here in a little bit, and then we'll do a little quick install of the front chassis brace and these braces here. And also additionally, I've continued to work with Steeda with some issues on the suspension, and I'm getting some weird noises, especially as it got a little colder, and they think it might be my vertical links since they have urethane bushings. So while we're putting these in, I'm going to actually put my stock vertical links back on and see if that changes anything with driving. So I'm curious to see. I'm pretty new when it comes to all that stuff, so I'm really curious to see if that'll make a difference or not. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. All right, so to remove the vertical links, you need an 18 and a 15 millimeter bolt, 18 on the bottom, 15 on the top. You just need to loosen them up. Now, when you do tighten down and torque down vertical links, whether it's OEM or aftermarket, you want it at what's called curb weight, which means you want some pressure from underneath to compress that spring before you tighten it down. All right, so we got the OEM vertical link back on, and this goes the same for any vertical link you're using. It's going to be helpful to have the jack to put some pressure up. We ended up putting some pressure right on the bottom here so we could line up the bottom link or the bottom bolt. So once you do that, this top bolt here is going to be torqued down to 76 foot-pounds, and the bottom one is 129 foot-pounds, and you want to do that again at curb weight. So we're going to put the jack underneath here as close as we can to the rotor. Just jack the IRS up, and then we're going to torque those down with our torque wrench. All right, so we are under the driver's side of the car. There is a bolt right here and two spaces here and right here next to the IRS bolt where your brace will line up to. I'll show you here in a second. So we use this last bolt right here, and that actually gets discarded and you use a new bolt. Put one through here. The kit comes with a bolt for right here next to the blue IRS bolt, and then there's two bolts that will go over here. And that's how the brace installs. And just one under here so you can see this long black piece here is the jacking rail. All right, so we've removed this rear 15 millimeter bolt. And then there's these threaded spacers here. So we're on our toe link, and you're actually going to slide one of these into here, and that's how you're going to end up getting a bolt through here. All right, so we have everything installed. So again, we are on the driver's side. So there's two bolts here, and these are going to be torqued down to 45 foot-pounds. Pounds-foot? Pounds-feet. This one right here in the middle, also 45. And the two larger ones in that go to 55. Now, again, when you install the rear here, there is a spacer that slides in right here that's threaded for this bolt. And this one's a little bit tricky. So you have the bolt that will slide through. There's actually a nut that goes on top. You're gonna have to stick your hand here under the half shaft and do this bolt. I had actually like a stubby 3/8 ratchet, which helped a little bit, and a second set of hands helps if you have it. Otherwise, they're pretty straightforward, other than the fact it's uncomfortable being on your back. And then of course you have a jack kind of in your way supporting the rear IRS here. But yeah, I mean the other side is going to be the same way, so we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so we've actually already installed this BMR front chassis brace. Sorry for the light shine right here. It's pretty simple to do. A second pair of hands does help. So a couple things. So there is a 21 millimeter control arm bolt right here to remove on the side, and of course the driver's side. I'm on the passenger right now. And that's all you need to do for prep. Then what you're going to do is, when you're underneath the car, so there's a hole here,
and a hole there. So the kit comes with like these aluminum spacers. So what you actually have to do is stick the spacer up into this hole and slide it over. Now in my particular car, there were like some tabs from drilling this hole in there, so we had to break those off. So it took a minute just to get the spacer aligned. But then you're going to put the bolt with the washer on the bottom side and the nut with another washer on the top side. You'll need an adjustable wrench and a 24 millimeter socket for this, and you're going to torque that down to 100 pounds-foot. And then on the control arm, that bolt just goes straight back in, and that you actually have to torque down to 184 pounds-foot. It's actually, I know that's high, but it's actually not that bad to do. You're able to get good leverage, but you can see where the brace sits. Yes, I know I have a little bit of oil leaking there. I don't actually drip, but I'll have Ford fix that. So yeah, that takes care of that. And then we also, we didn't show, but we changed out the vertical link back to my stock here and put the Steeda brace in as well.